Over the past decade of becoming a multi-millionaire, I'm now sharing my information that I've learned with people on Reddit. So, should you open a hot dog stand? Should you run more than one business at a time? We're going to answer questions just like that from r/entrepreneur in this episode.
All right, first story of the day. These are all from r/entrepreneur. Titled, I don't find money, cars, woman, luxurious travel posts on Instagram motivating online.
Oh my gosh, how human of him.
Are you ready?
He's a real one. We got a real one.
All right, the story says, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I like the idea of being wealthy and I'm trying to succeed as an entrepreneur. Nonetheless, I hate these social media pages, posts, and advertisements that sell the symbol of entrepreneurial success as these supercars, fast supercars, women in bikinis, stacks of cash, and luxury travel. In my opinion, it's a very superficial symbol of success and it's not inherently fulfilling. Entrepreneurship, as I see it, has the benefits of self-actualization, independence, and creating investments, financial freedom, and purpose. Those are much more real to me than flashing the fake success symbols.
Homie's got it. I'm with that guy. I wish I would say their names sometimes. He's right. He's absolutely right. So the reason behind people advertising the way that they do, which by the way is definitely the fast women probably wasn't wrong either. Fast
Revolving door, fast women.
Fast cars, fast women. Yeah, I mean he wasn't wrong there either. But the reason that gets advertised the way that it does is because unfortunately it works. Now, for somebody who also doesn't love that approach because it is empty and it's not fulfilling and it's not something that it should actually be strived for. Like, that's not what should be strived for. The strive for should be, he actually used the word self-actualization, which I love. So
it's been a long time since I've heard that term.
I know, right? I heard you say that and I was like, oh, even you, like, great language, great understanding. I would be interested to know if he actually already has a business or has something up and running to be that knowledgeable or like
if not,
clear with it.
He's on a good track. If not,
yeah, I would.
He's one of the people you want to root for. I'm rooting for this guy.
I'm with him 100%. Yeah.
Top comment says they are for engagement, not motivation. LOL. So people post that stuff for engagement, not motivation. I don't think that's true though. I think yes for engagement, but there are people who think that they're motivated by that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What I was saying was the reason it's advertised the way that it is. I mean, even to that person's point, to the first commenter's point.
Yeah.
Is it works? People think that's what they want, or they think that's what success is, or they've been told that. They haven't been told like success is a healthy marriage, healthy kids, a stable household where leadership's in place and there's a direction and a vision that people are going to make the world a better place. Like, that's not summed up as success.
Yeah.
As commonly.
In our society, most of the time, that's commonly not success.
Yeah. So like if you say it's going to take 10 to 12 years, which it does, to really see a change in your own finances and the people around you and the situation around you and your own personal situation. Or you can have a Lambo really quick. Which one are you going to choose?
They're always going to choose the Lambo.
The Lambo is so much more exciting and the truth is so much more painful. But really, if you take the truthful path, you'll be so much more fulfilled in the long run.
Another comment says, I find motivation in earning my time back. So.
Find motivation by earning my time back.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means to everybody. Like, what does that mean to you, earning your time back? Because a lot of entrepreneurs work more than 9-to-5ers.
I think it just means doing what you want with your time.
Like having better decision making.
Like time freedom. Yeah.
Better choice, better opportunity for choices.
Because you have a more self-actualization. You have more of an awareness of how you're spending your time when you have your time back. Versus when you just go to work every day, it feels like your time's like it kind of flies faster, and you're doing something that you probably don't want to be doing. Where though it is your choice to be doing that, like we talk about, you're still it feels better to choose the job that you're doing.
Proactive over reactive.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Another one, they said, "Why are you paying attention to them? When I'm in build mode, I barely have time to eat, let alone scroll on social media. The only reason I'm even on Reddit is to get a 3-minute brain break before I had to jump into a meeting. LOL."
I mean, that can be true and not true because it's difficult to avoid, especially if you are working so entrepreneurship is like the sexy thing now. It used to be the
nerdy.
Yeah, it used to be the outlier.
You think like nerdy, like Shark Tank, like
people now, like entrepreneurship, people are like playing business.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm going to go to the coffee shop, I'm going to open my laptop, and I'm going to look like I'm doing something. Like, it's very sexy now. It's not like it used to be like, oh, you're a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, why do you do that? Why do you put yourself through pain? That's stupid. Now it's more of an attractive thing, but it's just hard to avoid it. So especially once you start going down that path, what does every social media in the world have? It has an algorithm to throw more at you of what you're interested in.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be interested in entrepreneurship, you're going to be thrown that. And if people are advertising that way, it's going to be difficult to avoid.
Yeah. Also, everybody has social media. And I don't think when you're in build mode, you can't look at social media. Like we've talked about how it's not good for you, but 5 minutes a day is not going to kill you. A little bit of time. Like if you're in build mode, it's bad to.
Well, it's also hard to ignore those posts sometimes.
Yeah.
No matter what mode you're in, because subconsciously you're being trained, like when you see something over and over and over and over again, that's what success is, or that's what you should be striving for. So it gets harder and harder to push it away too, especially once you get to a level that you can afford it.
That's true too.
That was a thing that I didn't recognize until I was there, that the things that you put on a pedestal, what you're actually looking to achieve is you're looking to achieve becoming the person that has the ability to purchase that thing. When you have the ability to purchase that thing and it's no longer on a pedestal, it's not actually as exciting. So it could be the watches, the cars, the houses, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But maybe you have one of those things that's actually a passion of yours. Like I love big, beautiful real estate. So that's what I invest in, right? It's what I put most time and effort into. Second being the cars. I really love cars. I actually have a passion for them. I see them as functional art. So those are a little bit different. But now that I could afford the cars that I wanted, they weren't on a pedestal anymore. So they weren't as exciting as they were 2 or 3 years prior.
You've just become desensitized to it a little bit.
You do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a little numb to it. Like, especially when it comes to the numbers. Numbers mean something different to you than they did 10 years ago.
Yeah. Especially after having kids and a wife and a household. Yeah. Yep.
I think that he's going to do good. I think that he has a great mindset. I think when we like the world that we live in, the society that we have, everybody has this idea that like he thinks that everybody's brains are working like that, where like it's not, he's not alone. He feels like he's alone in how he's talking about this.
It's a great vent post.
Yeah.
But you said something there that was really important. Actually, was that me and some others always talk about this. Me and Dustin specifically. We make the mistake of thinking that everybody thinks like us.
Yeah.
So like when something goes wrong and somebody doesn't go to solve it, you go like, why wouldn't you just go solve that? Well, it's because we think like we do. They're not thinking like that. And we assume that they do. So when they don't, we go like, we have this expectation. And when the expectation isn't met, like we either feel down or disappointed or frustrated. And it's really on us, not them. And it's like, dang it, we did it again.
He's kind of doing the opposite. He thinks that nobody's thinking like him.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that he came here with it and he's like getting the support. Like, hey, you're not alone in this. It's kind of a common thing. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
The people, I think the people with the cars and the big things and the flashy lifestyles are just louder than the people who are not like this guy. He's quieter than somebody who's going to go post their car on social media.
Correct. If your glory is real, you're not going to be able to hide it.
Yeah. That's
what I've learned.
Okay. Ready for the next story?
Yep.
All right. Titled, How Can Some People Run Multiple Companies at Once?
Well, sometimes you don't well. Pain and suffering mostly.
Okay. It says, I heard stories of Richard Branson. Is that how you say his name? Richard Branson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I heard stories of Richard Branson in his early days that he created multiple companies just to solve problems he didn't like. I also know that he hired good people to run the companies for him. I think there are a lot of businessmen like Richard who can run multiple teams at once. The question is, how could they manage to keep all companies going in the right direction? I have a small team of 15 people, less than 50 people, but I struggle to build the process and company culture for years.
Yeah. I mean, he's in the struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, he said 4 years. He didn't get 4 years, not the number 4, but 4 years.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah, for years. So like he's in the struggle. I mean, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
So some of these guys are aliens. Okay.
Would Richard be one of them?
Richard is 100% an alien.
I don't know a lot about him. Was he always like that?
Virgin everything. Virgin Mobile, Virgin Airlines.
Okay.
He's the Virgin
thank
guy.
you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's Sir Richard Branson because he's been dubbed.
Okay.
But
so was he always like that? Did he just come out of the gate like that? Or was it like a slow build and like he learned to manage all these companies and stuff?
So one of the greatest stories I ever heard from him that he tells is he was standing in line. This is how he came up with Virgin Airlines. Is he was standing waiting at the gate, and from what I remember of the story is that the flight gets delayed, right? So when a flight gets delayed, who are you standing there with? 100 other people, right?
All the people in the plane who got delayed.
And they're all going, oh, my flight's delayed. Like everybody does it at the exact same time because as the alert comes across. So what he did is when that happened, he went to a certain number of them. I can't remember the number, but he went to everybody, right? And he went, why don't we charter a jet together? So they all split the cost of chartering a jet.
Oh.
Thus, Virgin Airlines is born.
Is that what they do?
That's how it started. That's how he started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, that's really cool. Okay, so he is definitely an anomaly because like who thinks like that?
Alien.
Yeah.
100% alien. Not necessarily just because of the thought. Like people have thoughts like that.
Yeah.
But when the instant action behind it.
And the execution.
The sales and execution of it, but also while doing all these other things at the same time. So were they all started at the same time? No, they all like branch out into another one, which is really personal example. Obviously I started in real estate. People start asking me about it. I start teaching other people, like
wrote a book.
Immediately friends around me, right? So then an education company is born. I get a lot of the same questions all the time. So a book is born. So no, and more so branches out.
And then you did the book, what is it, publishing that you did? Or what do you own? Which one? You did the publishing, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you did that too.
Yeah.
On top of that, like you, all the things.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just ends up branching out over time.
And it sounds like a lot. When you talk about you and all the things that you're doing, it sounds like so much.
I've had that feeling a few times before when people are
Maybe
like, what are you doing?
right
I'm like,
now.
well, I'm in real estate. It kind of got to that point because I used to be like, oh, I'm going to list these 11 things. And I was like, that's kind of exhausting actually and super confusing and nobody's going to get it.
Yeah.
So it just becomes something that branches. It becomes its own entity over time, which by the way, if you're not careful, one or two can get away from you. Which has happened to me, obviously. So like when that happens, you have to learn to adapt and you have to learn how to put protective walls around it. So that's really what he's talking about right now is, hey, if I'm going to, it's, you don't need to have 4 or 5 companies. You need to have one really good one. Like you need to focus on one.
Yeah.
It's not always good to have multiple ones.
We kind of talked about it in Ronnie's episode.
Yeah.
When we talked to Ronnie about how he's starting the cleaning company and stuff like that off of his real estate as like short-term rentals because he was solving a problem for himself.
Exactly.
And then he discovered he could solve problems for others. That's kind of how it sounds like a lot of the businesses are people who own multiple businesses. If they're doing it well, that's probably how they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you start one business, it starts succeeding. You notice the problems you have and you're just solving your problems when you start the next one.
Exactly. Something else that commonly happens with this too is even when a business is born out of necessity or problem solving and you have more than one, typically the first one will suffer. And even in Ronnie's example, his first business slowed down to have the second company build up.
Yeah.
And now he's learning how to balance and grow both. And you have to time block a lot, outsource a lot, and be willing to say no a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Top comments. I'm going to read you 2 of them. I run multiple businesses. Hire the right people and pay them so they never think about leaving. It's not rocket science. Creating the right space, then developing, hiring the right people and improving. That's what business development is about mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with either of those. Hire right. And then the next question is going to be like, how do I hire right? Through pain and suffering and trying a lot.
A lot of stuff in business just comes from pain and suffering and trying.
Yeah, that's why when I said I had a coffee meeting this morning and she asked me like, hey, how'd you learn XYZ? Mostly pain and suffering. Yeah. Like I know it's kind of a joke answer, but it's really truthful too. Yeah. Like, I mean, you walked in today and I said, kind of in a piss mood right now.
Yeah, he was struggling today. He was going through something.
I'm kind of in a piss mood right now, so I'm gonna get out of this and then we'll be able to, do our thing. But it's just, it comes with, you understand that it comes with the territory and you're grateful for the problems that you have over other ones.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Last comments on this story?
No, I'm good on that one.
All right. Next story. You're going to love this one. I picked this just for you. Titled, Starting a New Business, a Hot Dog Stand. Go ahead and roast me.
I love it. Please be at Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. You'll be successful. Like my man, Thomas.
Oh, you need to send him this. Okay. I currently own and operate a few successful companies, the largest of which my main focus, about 80% of the time and energy. The others I've established teams and processes and just handle oversight and calamities. Is that how you say that word? Calamities, as they come up. Last week, one of my employees approached me about a side business he's been thinking about getting into with his adult kids. He asked me if I'd be interested in investing the startup capital and taking on the oversight in exchange for 50% equity. I encourage my employees to grow in my companies and out of them. I've helped several start their own companies over the years, and even to my own detriment of losing them, so they don't come to me about with the detriment of losing them. So don't come at me about his eventual loss of focus. I anticipate, prepare, and put systems in place in expectation of this. He's got a pretty good plan, has quite a bit of research, and has even started legwork of branding and networking. The only thing he's wrong about is how much capital is going to take to start, but that's okay. Based on experience, I know it's going to be double what he's pitched for, and I'm okay. Tell me your thoughts, good or bad, about what I'm missing, or suggestions to help take it off the ground in the right direction. I'm open to all opinions and suggestions. My goodness.
Yeah, I wonder, is he trying to figure out, this would be a good conversation with him. Is he trying to figure out, like, okay, if I'm becoming an investor, what kind of investor do I want to be? Because here's the thing. When you ask for money, all right, when you're raising funds, this can be a lesson for everybody. If you're trying to raise funds for a business, a real estate deal, anything, okay? If you're raising funds and you're giving equity away, if you're asking for money and responsibility, why doesn't that person just run the business?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's usually one or the other. Hey, I'm going to give you equity, but I need your oversight. I need your mentorship. I need your coaching, right? I want you on the board. That's a great way.
Yeah.
There are angel investors and capital investors that are human capital investors. They become, which in my opinion is far more risky than just money capital investment, because in money, if you lose it, you just lose it. If you go into business with somebody and you're supposed to be on the board, right, and in leadership, and it doesn't work, well, now you've lost your time, which sucks. So I would rather lose money than time. So it's usually one or the other. So it's interesting to me that he's considering both. So if you're going to put money and the time into it, well, it's just your business again.
I really like the kind of business owner that he is, where one of his employees approached him about an idea and he's like, I want you to pursue that.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am preparing for the eventual loss of his focus. Mm-hmm. He's really in it for it sounds like he's kind of in it for the good reasons. He's confident in his answer in this too.
So we talked before we started about the difference between business ownership and entrepreneurship. I would consider him an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because he's open door policy, looking to better the world and better the people around him, not just make money. Because if he was strictly make money business owner, it would have been door shut.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a good connection here. I think you're right. He's in it for the people and not just the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flashy advertisements aside, the money's cool for a period of time. But if you don't get the people around you or in front of you, it does become unfulfilling over a period of time. Okay. It becomes less exciting.
Top comments. So Sam Parr from My First Million,
Sam Parr?
Who's that?
No, is it Sam
Parr? Sam Parr is, you know who that is?
Oh, is that the name of it?
That's the name of a person.
Oh, I thought you meant same Parr, like, hey, I'm the same boat, same situation.
He's from My First Million, so he must be some sort of a TV show.
Parr from My First Million. Oh, no, Sam Parr. No, that's a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
the podcast is called My First Million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam Parr from My First Million, pretty sure he had a hot dog stand. And the founder of Kinko's, Paul something, had a wonderful speech to his university class. He said, everyone wants to do something fancy, but did anyone notice the lineup at the hot dog stand on campus? That place is making a killing. He also said they did custom picture calendars, super boring and not cool, but they cost $1, and he sold them, and he made and sold them for $20. It's all about the cash flow. Good luck at the stand. And then the other comment says this guy behind Jimmy John's started a hot dog stand. So the guy who started Jimmy John's had a hot dog stand first. In college, I almost started a grilled cheese mini food truck business with some fraternity brothers. Keep it simple, cheap, fast, and delicious. Come up with a cool Reggie brand. I think it could work.
Man, hot dog stand is the door to riches. Who knew?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, clearly your guy at Home Depot, he's killing it. He's so cool.
Yeah, my boy Thomas. Yep.
Thomas, yeah.
Oh, man.
Todd, for the backstory, Todd goes to Home Depot. Our local Home Depot
for lunch or dinner.
Yeah, lunch or dinner. Instead of he lives in a pretty restaurant populated area. And
actually, the most restaurants per capita in the United States.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
He lives in the area with the most restaurants per capita. And he goes to Home Depot, and right outside of Home Depot is a hot dog stand, a one-man hot dog stand. He owns it. He runs it all the time.
Yeah, he lives there.
He lives in this hot dog stand, basically. And Todd will eat the hot dogs like it's his job.
They're so amazing.
Yeah. So that's why I picked this story, because I thought it was interesting.
Do you want to run a hot dog stand?
I wonder if he was laughed at when he came up with the idea of opening a hot dog stand.
I mean, doesn't everybody get laughed at when they're going to open their first business?
Yeah, but a hot dog stand.
Have you not seen the Mario Brothers movie?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, what? You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have to. It's great. It's great. It's a great entrepreneurship story, actually.
That's the one with the Bowser one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Titled, How Do I Start with $450? I'm 14 years old.
Man, that's awesome.
I think
for them.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a quick story? I went to a coffee shop today. Little girl crawls behind our chair, right? Because we're sitting. There's a bookshelf to our right. Crawls behind our chair, stands up, grabs on the bookshelf, grabs Darren Hardy's Compound Effect. She's probably 6 or 7, no joke. Crawls back and goes and starts reading it. And I'm like, I bet money on her success.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Where were you at? A coffee shop?
The Mugwig's Coffee.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. That's what made me think of that.
That's
really
really
14
cool.
and $450. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just got an email from a 17-year-old a couple of days ago about looking to start. I'm like, man, I can't imagine starting out. Well, you can. You basically did start that
Yeah,
early.
I was 16.
But yeah, so I mean, look at you. Like, imagine that person in a handful of years here.
Yeah. Okay, the story is super short. It just says, hello, everyone. I'm 14 years old and want to make some money. Not long ago, I invested in the stock market and made about $100 in profit. Currently, I have $450. What should I do with it?
Do it again.
You think?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Too many people have a little bit of success and go, oh, I should shift and do this now. I should shift and do this. No, if you want to be a stock market savant at 14 and you've already made $100, which is more than 99% of people will make in the stock market in their life on their own, like on their own, choices and research, do it again.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Go get great at that. Go be great at it.
That's really cool.
That's
14 years old and you're learning the stock market.
Incredible.
That's a skill. Like,
oh yeah,
they're learning a skill.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whether you're doing the stock market or Forex or crypto, I don't care. I don't care what you're trading. Like that is absolutely a skill set that you're setting rules and boundaries around, that you are making decisions off of and following your rules to profit. That's it.
Yeah. That's really cool. I think my advice would be take that 450 and how we always say, invest it in yourself. Do it again, but also like buy some books, read some books, learn how to manage money.
Yeah.
Like that. This is really cool. 14. I don't think I know any 14-year-olds who are in the stock market. In high school, like junior year, I started to know some people who were trying to get into it, but not at 14.
Did you guys have like an economy class or an economics class that taught it?
At my high school?
Touche. All right.
I think there might have been one.
Stupid question.
No. The closest we got was...
I just proved that there are dumb questions.
Yeah, there's the dumb question.
What are the top comments on that? Are there comments on that one?
I was just skimming them. They're not great. It says, I'll read you a few. Learn a skill and sell it. Your ROI would be much higher. For example, learn Google Ads, connect to people in your network, and have businesses and ask them to run other ads. I mean,
so start a different business. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really,
that's a perfect example of like how people think though.
Yeah.
The top comment is go do something else. You had a success. Now go do something else. Wait, what? Why?
Why would you
Just
do that?
Do whatever you did. Guys, if you've made a couple grand doing something, I don't care if it's power washing, detailing cars, selling houses, at stock market. I don't care what it is. If you've had a little bit of success and you've made a few bucks,
do it again.
Do it again. If you're wondering like, hey, how do these people get to $100,000 in the bank or $200,000 or $500,000 or $1 million? They just do whatever they did to get to 10 grand 10 more times or 100 more times or 500 more times. Like, just do it a bunch more times. That's it. Keep it simple.
Save the money, focus on school, especially math and programming. If you're 14 years old, invest every cent you are until 20 into learning, mentors, events, trips, etc. And after you reach your 20s, keep investing in yourself until you're 30. If you do that, you'll have an amazing life and success. I would be willing to bet on it.
That's actually my favorite answer.
Yeah,
out of
that's
all
good.
of them. Yep.
I don't think people who there's comments like go walk some dogs, do dog walking.
All they heard was 14.
Yeah,
and no skill.
Like, so silly. Keep doing what you're doing if you're watching this.
Yes, you're doing great.
Next story titled, "Would you recommend college?"
No.
Perfect.
Yes. Nailed it. Sometimes, yeah. I'd probably recommend college 40% of the time, which is probably higher than what most people would probably think, but it's probably 40% of the time.
Okay. I aspire to be a successful entrepreneur and business owner.
Never mind. Nope. Go start a business. Go start a hot dog stand. It's the way to wealth. Hot dog stand and go stand in line waiting for delayed flights.
Okay. I aspire to become a successful entrepreneur and business owner. I'm currently enrolled for a degree in finance and would love to hear from people that have made it. Example, 7-figure revenue annually, if they would recommend going to college to become an entrepreneur / business owner. If not, what steps should I take instead?
Nope. Start a business right now. Yesterday. Nope. Absolutely no reason for college. I'm going to say friends. I'm going to call them acquaintances because I haven't talked to them in years.
Okay.
What? I know of them. So what are they? Acquaintances?
I guess if you don't
people
talk
I used
to
to work with.
Okay, acquaintances, yeah.
A bunch of them have like degrees. I say a bunch. A few of them have degrees in entrepreneurship because it is a degree.
I know because I took classes.
But they do.
In college.
Oh yeah.
I took entrepreneurship class by somebody who
didn't have a business.
Wasn't a business owner. Was my teacher.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So no, everybody that I know that has an entrepreneurship degree doesn't do squat with it. What I mean, and then no, you don't need a finance degree or business degree or anything like that. Just get going. Start. You're going to learn more in the first 6 months than you will in 4 years of college for that type of degree.
Well,
go be a door-to-door salesman for a year. You'll learn more from that. Ask me how I know. Being annihilated from door to door, but you learn so much from it. You have a college degree in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, honestly. Or just, you always say that because you just like, if you're doing anything in sales, like
go get
experience. Do some sort of experience.
Yes. Go get told no.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of times.
Go pitch yourself to people a million times until you get something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. First comment, Scott Galloway. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh my gosh, another one. So Scott Galloway was recently on the My First Million podcast. There you go. Just a person on it. He's worth over $100 million, spends 200 to 400K per month. He said, if you can join a great company, then you should. They're the best wealth generators. Surprising, but yeah, if you can get 250K a year early on, and more later on, you're set. So I'd say if you can get a job out of college that pays crazy, do it. If not, experiment with business instead.
It had nothing to do with the question, right? Should he go to college? Get a job. Okay. All right. Well, maybe his answer was what he meant to say was like getting involved in the business is more valuable.
I think that's what he meant. Go find a company that pays well and is going to let you get involed to learn. I think he's saying what we said, get experience. He just really jumped through some hoops to get there.
Yeah. But if you want, you can go learn a skill set. Just be involved in the field that you want to be in. Like I'm blown away by people who want to get into real estate. So like, I really want to get into real estate, but I'm starting over here. I'm like, well, just go get involved in real estate. Go be a transactional coordinator. Go do some of the paperwork. Go work at a brokerage. Go get your license and then, be an assistant to somebody. Just be in the field and then you're going to learn that way.
Yeah. Next one, comment just says no.
That might have been me. I think I was answering that.
Okay. Next one says, yes, but not for the reason you'd think. Anyone can learn and you don't need a degree for that. You like fixing cars? Watch some YouTube videos. Like learning about emerging tech? Look at Reddit and so on. The internet is a sea of information. It's a tool we can use and learn whenever we need to learn to be proficient at anything we want to accomplish. It says, what does college have to do with it? It's about a lifelong experience. There's no substitute for having exposure to different points of view and meeting a lot of interesting and diverse people with their own thoughts and ideas. How can you learn from each other? And yes, even the social aspects of it and the parties and learning to connect and have fun. It's an experience you can only have at college. It broadens your horizons in a way that shows you how little you know, and that's a humbling thought. Knowing how little you know becomes a mission to be a lifelong learner. Of course, you have the same realization outside of college, but you'd have missed out on the other extracurricular life experiences you could get from it. I mean,
if you want to learn that you don't know anything, start your own business.
Yeah, I think there's
go try to sell something to anybody, and you'll learn that you don't know anything about anything.
I think there's plenty of other ways you can learn you don't know anything without paying for college tuition.
Yeah.
If that's your only goal going into college.
You can do it with $100,000 in student loan debt too.
Yeah. The only thing that I would agree with from this is something that I've struggled with. I went to college, didn't actually submerge myself into college at all. Did most of it online, went to class only when I had to. Mm-hmm. And I think the only thing that I could agree with from this is that having friends here, and finding people to surround myself with that I actually enjoy. We have like experiences, like hobbies, like we have similar mindsets was so hard to do. I just recently found some friends that I like have been like really close with and getting along with, but for the last 2 years, just having people in this area of where I live, I think college is good for that. A lot of my friends have good friends that they're like because they joined clubs in college and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, there's definitely cheaper ways to do that too. But that's the only thing I could agree with in this.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't have any friends from college.
Really?
No.
Did you try to find friends in college or was it just baseball?
None of the dudes from the locker room, nothing. I mean, there's a few guys that like I'll talk to here and there that I would consider good people, but like, no, I don't really have any friends from college.
But it's all what you make of it. Like I could have gone to college and I could have even like submerged myself a little bit more, like maybe joined some sort of club, like business situation or another, and tried to make friends, but I didn't try. Yeah. So that's the only thing I could agree with here. One more comment. If you can afford it, I'd say go. It's not just a subject you have chosen to study that will get you any education in. For most young people, college, or here in the UK, university, is the first time they've lived away from home. They learn how to look after themselves without their mom doing everything for them. You'll meet a wide variety of people, cultures, etc. You can learn how to work with these people and how to accomplish results as a team. Some of these same people can be lifelong friends and network contacts that help you as you help them. Don't believe these famous entrepreneurs who claim they went to college and never use any of the knowledge they gained there to become successful. They absolutely did. Maybe not everything. We all learned Pythagorean theorem in high school, but I bet practically no one has used it since. But they definitely gained an advantage in many ways by attending that they're not aware of. People who say you're going to pay X amount of dollars for a piece of paper are missing the point entirely.
They are and they aren't.
I can agree with that to a degree, but they're not looking at it from the other ones too. He could go and not go to college and build an incredible business and have these great experiences and be exposed to a wide variety of people without paying for it. Yep. However, some people go and they take the lemons and they make lemonade out of it.
He did. Well, really, what you should do is you should patent the lemons, and then I won't go into that, but and then sell the seeds, and then sue the farmer.
Yeah. All right.
I watched a show the other day that actually broke that down. It was hilarious. But he did say at the beginning, if you can afford it. So at least he covered that basis too, though.
If you can afford it and you understand what you're going to get when you go into it and what you're paying for and understand the debt you're taking on, and then you're going to be responsible for it. If
I would
that's
say
what
that's
you
one of the
do,
most impressive things that you did is you don't have any student loan debt.
Yeah.
You don't have any college debt.
Did I want to go to college? Maybe not. Mm-hmm. But when I made the decision that I was going to go and I was going to follow through with it, I understood that I was not walking away with debt. Yeah. Maybe that's not the case for everybody, but the debt that if I were to have collected some debt on it, I would have understood that was my responsibility to pay off.
Cue all the comments where your parents paid for your debt when they didn't.
My parents did not pay for any of my college. Not okay. They paid for like my phone bill and stuff like that while I was in college, which I'm very lucky. I'm not saying they didn't do anything for me, but like. It wasn't daddy's money that paid for college. Let's say that.
No, you did great. Yeah. You did great. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Okay. Ready for the next story?
Yep.
All right.
I'm ready.
Last story. Titled Significant Losses for 2 Consecutive Weeks. How did you guys overcome crisis times? Anything?
With time. Depending on what it is. I guess this is entrepreneurship, so I would imagine my answer is going to be with time, but I'm interested to hear more context.
Yeah. Okay. I operate an online e-commerce business in my country. We rely on extremely cheap ads on social media platforms to generate leads and acquire customers. However, since the beginning of the year, the cost of advertising space has increased by 3 times. And since we spend most of our budget on ads, we get 95% of our customers from social media. We cannot stop it. We generate good revenue, but lose it on marketing. Additionally, there has been an increase in the cost of imports due to the war in the Red Sea. I live in a country that borders the Red Sea. Our profit margins are very low, and we cannot raise the prices for customers who are already suffering from inflation and hardships. I have been operating this business for 4 months and have not faced any crisis that lasted longer than 3 days. How do you manage your business going through turbulence and crisis times? Should I cut down on the operating costs until this crisis goes away?
So that is not a crisis.
Okay.
That is a fundamental business flaw that he is learning. He probably won't recover from that within that business. And the reason I say that is because when you make your business dependent upon a third-party service and you lose control over their decision-making, which, by the way, you never have control over their decision-making.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't lose it, you just...
When they change their anything, it will always affect you. So rule number 1 in business, avoid a mortality event, a financial mortality event. And you do that by putting barriers and protections around your business, right? When you allow a third-party service to be inside your walls, you are always at risk of failure. It's the e-com stores. It's done. It's done. The margins are too thin. You can't make any money. And all they are doing is making money for the social media sites. The price of ads isn't going to go down. We're talking about inflation and competition and people being online. You're not going to have less people online. You're not going to have less people teaching it. You're not going to have less people selling it. You're always going to have more. So yes, there's a war going on. So when's the war going to end? I mean, let me pull out my crystal ball and guess. But
yeah, I'm going to go with probably not soon.
This is not actually a crisis. This is a fundamental business flaw that he's learning. And we all learn it by doing it.
Yeah.
We've all been there. So the business needs a major pivot. That business is probably not going to survive. I would be surprised if it survived. Because you can't roll down operation costs to ride anything out. You don't have any profitable revenue. You don't have any net margin. That's the problem. So he's actually just working for somebody else.
He also said that the business has only been in business for 4 months.
Yeah.
So you're really not...
That's why it's not
that you're not a business, but you're really not established in any sense.
That's why it's not a crisis.
You're just still making a business.
Yeah, you're learning about business principles.
When I was 4 months into the photography business, I didn't make any money. I was working for free.
Exactly.
Like that's you don't have
yelling at you about prices.
Yeah, you don't really have a business.
Yeah, no, he's learning about business fundamentals, which is great, but that's not a crisis. That is, I have allowed a third party into my inner chambers, and the third party gets to make whatever decisions they make, and I have to live with them. That's no good.
Yeah, this is a
for
chalk
anybody,
up the losses, get up and try again.
You do. Yep.
Yeah.
Pivot. Make an adjustment. If you want to sell things online, fine, but like you can't make it dependent on only that social media ad or only that business type.
Yeah, there's only one comment. It was 11 minutes ago. It says, "Are you constantly testing new ad creatives? Could it be the problem with your ad specifically?" And that's not...
You're just going to continue to chase that. Ask me how I know.
Yeah.
It took millions of dollars of ad spend for me to learn about fundamental business flaws like that.
Yeah.
So him figuring it out in 4 months and posting about it, pretty good.
Yeah. 4 months is... good.
Not
it's
bad.
better having this problem now than if you have like a successful business you've been going for a year and a half and then the war hits and then you realize you don't have any control and then you lose more money or you lose more of your time. Yeah.
Business crisis has never lasted more than 3 days. Well, that's a weekend.
Yeah.
That's a holiday.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. You're doing good. Keep going. You got to pivot.
Yeah.
You got to make changes. You have to protect your entity.
That's all the stories I have for you today.
Well, I enjoyed them. Thank you for sharing them. If you guys found value in this, if you guys enjoyed it, we also read comments from you guys on episodes and shows like this. So if you guys have questions specifically, make sure to put them in the comments down below, or you can DM us on any of the socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those fun ones. Those will be down in the description below. And until next time, I hope you enjoy your week.
Thanks for watching.